What's going on, people? Precise Progression 97, 100 shots in the mental Mac 11, man. Look, we live in some crazy, misleading, and propaganda-based times, man. And it's really sad for the low-level thinkers and people who lack discernment in a world where people need productivity, people need group economics, people need to be able to build on a large scale in order to create their own platforms and their own entities that can have their own influence, right? But black people, I gotta make this clear, man, because I feel like it's my duty to use my voice in ways that other people are not using theirs. Because we live in revolutionary times, but we live in times where people have become content and people have become comfortable with just believing whatever the media puts out to them. And nowadays it's more dangerous because there's so many media sources that people don't know what to distinguish when it comes to real, fake, real stuff and bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, man. So let me say this to the black community, bro. If we really want to be led in the right direction and really have an upright, morally upstanding sense of self, there is three people we got to denounce in the black community: Jason Whitlock, Anton Daniels, and one that's gonna hurt a lot of y'all feelings because y'all love listening to him talk, Charleston White, bro. And I might even throw Stephen A. Smith in there because he can be subjective, but he's also subservient to the people who cash his checks. And it's not a person who cares about the black community. Y'all gotta understand this, man. Like, y'all gotta pick up what I'm putting down. Because as a people, we are having circles around us, and this stuff that we don't even care about because we've been so driven to care about what new grills is coming out, what the new updates to the Swatch is gonna be, and all this other stuff. We don't even see who really speaks on our behalf, and we let people do it that are driving us in the ground and keeping us in a position to be sheep and not herders. You know what I'm saying? So check this up. Pick this up, right? The Carmelo Anthony situation, for example. A lot of people have heard the things that Charleston said and they ate it up. Like, yes, he's going to do something for this young black brother that's being railroaded. He's going to give his voice and he's going to talk to these people. He's subservient to those people who y'all think he's finna go talk to. This man used the Carmelo Anthony situation to create more talking points and create more visibility to where he can get paid more money to get on podcasts, talk shows, and interview stations. And he always uses this excuse that people always say, oh, I'm playing a character. What do y'all think a character is? A character is made for somebody to pull, for somebody to feed into and to be influenced by. This man does not have power, man. These people are talking heads. These people are paid plants that are in this game. Charleston's a plant now. He's in too deep. He has too many audiences to please. So he can't never just go full-fledged on one side because he don't want to lose an audience. He want to make sure he can have multiple demographics and multiple races, watch his interviews, watch his podcast, and make sure he keeps influence that he can carry on to the next level, whatever that level might be. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that we have become so... We've gotten so stuck in autopilot that we can't even take control of the wheel and steer in our own direction and use our own discernment, judgment, and discipline to push ourselves where we need to be. We let other people tell us where we need to be, what we should have, what we should own. Man, look, motherfuckers better get on the ball, man, and develop their own ways of thinking and get around like-minded individuals so you can build your own entities and build your own things. They got our own influence, right? Because I don't know if y'all understand this, right? But when Martin Luther King and all them got the civil rights movement passed, we felt like it would be good for us. But then people up top in the government, they made sure that it was a double-edged sword that allowed other immigrants and other people to come in. They could replace us in the workforce. Albeit Asians, Indians, all them people, all of these immigrants that were allowed to come here because of what black people fought for in the civil rights, these people are in a position to buy the stores that we should buy. They purchase the lots that we should purchase. And you always have these white skinned pundits and these white skinned people If you listen, they talk about this thing called the Great Replacement Theory as if all the white race is in jeopardy, when y'all don't even understand. White people already have their stocks and stakes, whether it be in Amazon, whether it be in Apple, whether it be with any big company, Starbucks, whatever it is that you buy from and you buy your goods from every day. Those places are already obtained by white people. So when they say that, when they use these great replacement tropes and these great replacement talking points, that is fear mongering, bro. The people who should really be worried about the great replacement is the people who don't have enough ownership in things that they can pass down to the next generation. And by far, that's black people, bro. So when you listen to these people who are pundits, they're trying to keep you in the same place. They are trying to make sure that the great replacement affects black people, because white people will never be threatened by a great replacement as long as they have ownership and stake in these large companies that will forever grow, whether it be in technology fields, whether it be in the medical fields, whether it be in any field, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is all fun and games right now, but slowly but surely, when you look at these different cases, they always try to say that it should not be made about race. Bro, it has everything to do with race. Because if an Asian person has a baby with an Asian woman and they got a business, the business will stay in Asian neighborhoods. If a white person is the head of security or the head of supreme justice in the court system, he will have babies with another white woman and teach his son how to run that same position. So to say it's not about race is idiotic, bro. It is a machine trying to make y'all believe that this stuff don't matter, but really it's everything. So if black people aren't owning stakes and they don't have ownership in certain things, then you're gonna get replaced, because whoever owns the business, it's gonna be nepotism. It's gonna get passed down to the next lineage of whatever race, man or woman, has possession of that business, bro. This stuff is a competition. We shouldn't look at what we go through as oppression. We should look at it as competing. Save your money. Stop buying all the Don Julio. Stop buying all them drugs. Stop buying these shoes that aren't going to do nothing but make the owner of that shoe company rich. But people don't want to hear what I'm saying, because it requires too much work ethic. It requires too much work to be done. And we always got people saying, oh man, in these times, I just want peace. I just want this. I just want to be happy. When them Asians, them Indians, they not coming down here to be happy, but they come in here to own. They come in here to get. They come in here to receive, make that money, and take these grants from these white people to keep these businesses going, so we eventually get replaced and we don't got no say-so in nothing. I guarantee if we own some companies and some ownership, and we had people to go in these courtrooms and speak on behalf of Carmelo Anthony, or to speak on behalf of the family of Cyrus Belton, the dude who got shot in his back by an Asian who owned a store. Like, what is we even talking about, bro? If you don't own nothing, you don't run nothing. That don't just go for whatever field. That go for the justice system. That go for corporations and companies and news and press conferences. That falls into all of that, bro. If you don't own nothing, you don't got no say-so in nothing. Let Carmelo Anthony's family would have had ownership or stakes or big partnerships within a conservative group or even a Democratic group. It would have been so much media coverage trying to paint him as a good kid who needs to be let free. We might have got what we needed. But people is so brainwashed and so pushed in the direction of just wanting to have fun, be cool, and do this and do that. You know what I'm saying? They will, nigga, we step on our own feet every time, bro. We step on our own feet every time. And we want to sit back and let these people speak for us, like Charleston White, Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Smith. Bro, these dudes are up under things that are owned by white people. So if you think they got their best interest, you don't know how hierarchy in business works, man. Ain't no, oh, he was wrong, so he's going to get convicted. Nah, bro. They got conservatives in their corner that can speak on their behalf. They got political connections and are close to people who can speak and get things done and pull strings that that wouldn't have got pulled if it was just that family fighting by themselves. Rick Chow owned the store, bro. That store might have been on the land of some conservatives that sold it to him. So he might have had people pulling strings behind the scene that allowed him to get off of shooting that young black kid in the back. You know what I'm saying? So, motherfucker, bro, we need to stop wanting to be spoken for or feel like we got a spokesperson. If everybody be their own spokesperson and every spokesperson come together and put together a plan to have an entity, a business, a supply chain, then maybe we can have some say-so. Because everything that's going on around us, bro, it is being done with bias. When these people get on these platforms, when Steven Crowder, Jason Whitlock, them white brothers that be on there giving coverage on that, these platforms are getting millions of views. So for every hundreds of thousands to millions of views of people that we got defending Carmelo Anthony, you got big platforms that are being sponsored by conservative media saying he was wrong, he's a murderer, he murdered this kid at a school in cold blood. And that narrative is going to go way farther than even what I'm saying. But I'm a like-minded thinker. If I'm out here by myself operating, doing what I'm doing, I'll get crushed by a bigger brand or a bigger corporation that feels like I'm saying something that's not beneficial to their cause. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes, bro. And and you got too many, and you got too much of this stuff being pushed to the masses that can paint a picture or paint a biased narrative. And even if it is biased, if it reaches the ears of more people, those people are going to say it to their people, and their people are going to say it to somebody else. So even if we are morally correct with what we're saying, the media war and the narrative war is being won by the side with more ears, with more money, with more with more platforms to spew that nonsense. And if the nonsense is being heard by more people, then the nonsense is what's going to be believable. You know what I'm saying? So think for yourself, man. Think for your people. Think for the people that matter. Think for the people that have morals and actually stand for something that matters, bro. Because at this rate, the great replacement is going to be pushed towards the minority that don't have spending power, that don't have bargaining power, that don't have corporations and platforms that can push a widespread narrative that can make people say, oh yeah, you know what? Maybe that boy Rick Chow should go to jail. Or maybe Carmelo should get the minimum sentence. You know what I'm saying? But people, like I say, y'all can keep chasing y'all peace. Y'all can keep going to y'all clubs, drinking your Don Julio. Do what you do. If you feel like, Nick ain't talking about nothing, that's you, bro. But just because you don't believe it does not mean that it's not true. And it does not mean that this is not what's being observed and this is not what's going on. Just because you don't want to hear it don't mean it's not going to affect you in the long run. So with that being said, man, hey, you can either get on it or be you can either be on it or goddamn me ride somebody else's wave that's going to lead you to destruction. Because it's Precise Progression over here. Precise Progression 97. Unlimited shots in his Mental Mac 11. You're going to need them because we at war.